Hello everyone, it's Mr. Montgomery again. Today we are going to review all of Unit 7 that we've been working on, and we are going to be working more specifically on the pages in your workbook, inside that robot and turtle book. So the page we are starting on today, you can see on my screen, it says page 315. It's a 3 in the hundreds, a 1 in the tens, and a 1 or 5 in the ones place. Okay, so 315. So if you're not on this page, then please pause the video, hit the space bar. Once you have your robot and turtle book open to the correct page, go ahead and hit the space bar again to play. Alright, and what we're going to do first is we are going to do the very top of page 315, and it says Set A. It says it right here. I'm going to circle it. We are doing the Set A questions. And what we're going to do is we're going to pretend like they didn't give us the answers. We're going to pretend that these answers are not there. I'm going to erase them. That way we can just kind of refresh ourselves. Now, for my class, I am not going to ever quiz you on how to spell the number 60 or any of these big numbers, because that is pretty tough. So I'm going to erase that completely, pretend it never was there. Alright, so let's read this little example that they give us so we can refresh our minds. Okay? Let's refresh our memory a little bit. So it says, you can count by tens when you have a lot of objects to count. So what are these boxes with red dots? What are these things called? They are called 10 frames, right? We know that. We know these are 10 frames. So let's see what kind of answers they want us to give. So it says, there are blank tens. So when they ask you how many tens, and you have a picture like this, what they're really saying is, how many 10 frames do we have? So we just count the 10 frames. And what you can actually do, and it's what I like to do also, is I like to number them. So I count them as I number them as I count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 10 frames. So how many tens do we have? We have 6 tens. And now they have this other answer they want us to give, where it says 6 tens equals blank. They want to know what big number does 6 tens make. So if you were to count by tens, what big number would you have at the end? But here's what I like to do. I call this my little cheat code. For all my video gamers out there, you know that there's cheat codes. Well, this is my math cheat code. After you count 10 frames, after you number them, guess what? All you have to do is put a 0 after each number that you put. And it's the exact same big number as if you were to count by tens. Watch this. Because there's 10 in this first 10 frame, right? So 10, and then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So 6 tens, right? 6 tens makes the number 60. There you go. Or some of you might have realized that and said, you know what, I'm just going to bring this 6 down here, put a 0 at the end, and my answer's right there. That's it. Nothing too crazy with solving that one. So I want you guys to try number 1 on your own. Okay, and remember, for my class, I am not going to worry about how to write the word of the number. I'm not going to worry about that. So you can just put a little scribble on that and don't worry about it. So the first part is, for right here, they want you to write down how many tens or how many 10 frames are in this picture. How many tens do you see? Okay, do you have your answer written down? Okay, so the next part, it says they want us to know what big number it makes. So with this many tens, if you were to count all these 10 frames by tens, what number would you get at the very end? What big number do all of these 10 frames make all together? All right, so if you're still working, that's totally fine. All right, pause the video and just take your time, finish your work. If you're all done, let's review this together. Okay, so let's see here. So first thing to want to know, how many tens? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So how many tens do we have? We have 10 tens. And then what big number does 10 tens make? Well, if you've already had your 100th day of school, you might already remember this or know this. And then maybe that's your little trick to remembering that. But my little trick is, after I count, I just put a 0 after each number. And it's just like counting by tens. Look at that. So much easier. Here's the only tricky part. When we get to our 10th 10 frame, we still put a 0 at the end because it makes 100 total. Okay, so even if you count it by tens, you get the same number. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right, so 10 tens makes 100. All right, let's go down to our next section, which is set B. So for this section, for section B, right here, they are giving us part of a 100 chart, right? They're giving us a little section, and what they want us to do is to finish counting on from any number that they give us by either tens or ones. So if I were to erase these little dotted line answers right here, I wish they didn't give us these answers so we could go over this one together a little bit better. We're going to pretend they weren't there. Okay, so after 99, we have 100, and maybe we don't know what number comes next. That's okay. We go up to our 100s chart, this little section. I like to circle the very first number or put a box around it. There's 99. Here is 100. And when we get to the end of the I'm sorry, guys. Once you get to the end of the row, to keep on counting, you drop down a row and go back to the beginning, all the way to the left. So our next number is 101. After that, we have 102. And then our last number is 103. All right, and that's it. Now, if we were to start from 99 and have to count by tens, we would do that a little different. Let me write that down here. So if we were at 99 and we were counting by tens, what do you think we would do first? Let me actually get a different color. All right, what do you think we would do first? Well, what I would do first is find the number 99 on our 100 chart. So we look for the row with all the 9s in our 10s place, right? Right there. There's our 9 in the 10s place. Go all the way till you find the number 99, and I found it. It's right here. But when we count by tens, we do not go from left to right. Okay, we do not do that. That's only if we are counting by ones. When we count by tens, we just go down the column. Remember, we just go from top to bottom. Okay? That's exactly what we're going to do here. So if we needed the next 10 after 99, we just drop down one. Look, it's right here. Our next number is 109. And then our next 10 after that is 119. Because we just drop down one row each time. Go right down the column. So 119 would be our next number. And that's all you do when you count by tens using a 100 chart. So I would like for you all to try number 2 all on your own. Right here for number 2, it says count by tens, and you're starting at the number 80. Okay, start at the number 80, counting by tens. Okay, if you are all done, we're going to continue. If you're not all done, pause the video, take your time. There is no rush. Make sure you give this a really good try, because this one, they made it actually a little tricky. Okay, for my friends that are all finished. If we start at 80, see, they were a little mean about this. They did not give us the number 80 on this 100 chart, which I think is just mean. Because really, it would be right above the 90. It would be right here. There would be our number 80. So when we go down the column, after 80, our next number would be 90. After that, we would have 100. Then after that, we have 110. Remember, we just work right down the column. We don't do anything else. And then our next jump after that is 120. 1, 2, 0. And that's it. All right, now try number 3 on your own. It says to count by ones. This you can absolutely use the 120 chart that is on your paper. All right, so start at the number 114 and count on by ones. All right, if you're not done, please pause the video. And then as soon as you're finished, you can hit play. For my friends that are finished, we're going to continue and just go over our answers real quick. So the first thing we do, we look at the number that we start with, right? 114. I'm going to pick a different color here so it stands out. And I'm just going to circle it. 114 is our start number. And then when we count on by ones, we just hop over 1. Our next number is 115. Then our next number over is 116. Then our next number counting by ones, go over 1, is 117. And then when we hop over one more time, we have 118. So when we count by ones on our 100 chart, we just move over to the right one time. All right, that's it. All right, let's go to the next page. I believe you might have to turn your page just once. We're going to be on page 316. Let me get my page ready. All right, everyone. So here is page 316. This is what your page should look like. I'm going to circle the page number at the bottom. All right, so your page number is 316. And at the very top, we see these open number lines that we were working with a few sections ago. I know this was kind of odd. This is an odd section. So I really want to make sure we take our time with this. Let me make sure I have this centered for us. Okay. So when we work with open number lines, now you guys can already see I erased the numbers that were here because I feel like it's important that we walk through to refresh our minds. So what they want us to do on the top one is counting on by ones by using an open number line. Now, normally they would say in a little problem, like over here, it says start at 62. Right here, they want us to start at 29. And they want us to create our own number line to figure out how many jumps it might take to get to, I don't know, a bigger number, any number at all, like 35 or 34 or whatever. But we can use this to help us along. Or they might say how, or if they were to say something like, if you jump 6 times, what number would you land on? Okay, so right here they want us to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. And we need to figure out what number we would land on if we made 5 jumps. So we're just going to write the number 29 and count on by ones. After 29, we have the number 30. After 30, we have 31. After 31, we have 32. After 32, we have 33. So you should see a pattern right here where pretty much the only thing that's changing is this ones place, right? Unless we were already at 9, in that case, it has to move over to the 10's place, right? Because you cannot have 10 ones in the ones house. It's too many. It gets too crowded. Okay, and then after 33, we have 34. So, if we made 5 jumps, we would end at the number 34, and that would be our answer. Okay, and then at the bottom here, for the second open number line, they want us to count by 10's. And they want to know if you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps, what number would you land on? Well, let's figure that out. And let's look for a pattern while we write. So what is 10 more than 35? Because remember, when we count by 10's, we're pretty much saying plus 10. So 10 more than 35 is 45. And then 10 more than 45, right? Because it's like saying plus 10 again. After that, we have 55. Now remember, another way to think about counting by 10's is the only number that changes is the 10's house. That is it. I cannot say this enough times, guys. When you count by 10's, your 10's house number goes up by just 1. Only 1 each time. See how it goes from 3 to 4, and then from 4 to 5? It's only, the 10's is only getting bigger by 1. So what's bigger than 5? 6. And the 1's house stays the same. We are keeping that 5 in the 1's place every single time. Now let's think about this again. When we make another jump, what is bigger than 6? 7. And we keep that 5 in the 1's house. And then what's bigger than 7? 8. And we are still keeping that 5 in the 1's house because we're counting by 10's. We're not changing the 1's place ever, ever, ever when we count by 10's. Never, ever. Okay? So after 5 jumps, starting from 35, counted by 10's, we end at 85. So I want you to go ahead and try number 4 on your own. And number 4 says, start at the number 62, count on by tens all the way to 102. So they're not telling you how many jumps. They are telling you the first number, which is 62, and they are telling you the last number, which is 102. So you can start your number line by putting the first number that they want us to have and the last number that they want us to have. Okay? And now just go ahead and finish the number line, all the parts in the middle. Okay, so if you are not done yet, hit the spacebar, pause the video until you are finished. If you are finished, we're going to continue. Okay, and let's see how this number line should work or look. So I'm going to make one little tick mark after 62. And what is, remember we're counting by tens, so what is 1 bigger than 6? It's 7. And we keep that 2 in the ones place. So it's 72. Then I make another little tick mark. What is 1 bigger than 7? It's 8. And I keep that 2 in the ones house. So it's 82. Then I make another tick mark after that. And what's big 1 more than 8? Well, it's 9. And remember, we keep that 2 in the ones house. And we're done. That's it. So you should have 62, 72, 82, 92, and then it ends at 102. All right, number 5. You're going to start with the number 97 on your number line and end with the number 101. So, and you're counting by ones. So counting by ones, start at 97. And make your number line go all the way to 101. I will give you guys a minute here to finish this problem. Okay, if you are not done, pause the video please until you're finished. If you are done, let's discuss this one. So what I like to do is I like to put the ending number also, which is 101. And remember, we're just going to make a tick mark and we're only counting by ones here. So what's 1 more than 7? It's 8, so it's 98. And then 1 more than 98 is 99. 1 more than 99 is 100. And that's it. That's your entire number line, and you're completely done. That's it. All right, so let's go to our next section here, which is part D, which was pretty tough. And unfortunately, they do not give us a little practice area. So what they want us to do is in this picture for number 6. Okay, for number 6, they want us to make groups of 10. They already made one for us. You can even count them to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you stop once you reach 10 and you circle those pieces. All right. There is another set of 10, at least one more set of 10 that can be made. Go ahead and make the set of 10 all on your own. Okay, so let's check our work here. I'm going to do the same thing. So remember, when we have a problem like this, they are already telling us how many pieces are in this box, and they want us to make groups so we can count a little bit easier. So I'm going to need to make another group of 10, so I'm going to count all the way to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stop because I reached 10, and I circle those pieces that I just counted. All right, now we only have like a few more puzzle pieces, not enough to make 10. And now what they want us to do is we are going to start counting from 80, because there's 80 pieces in the box already. And you're going to count on by 10s first to count, so 80, and then count by 10s for these two sets of 10, and then finish counting by 1s. Go ahead and give this a try and see what number you get for the total number of puzzle pieces. All right, so let's count these pieces together and make sure that you got the same number as me, okay? So we're going to check our work right here. So we're going to start from 80, and when we count by 10s, we're adding 10 more. So or you can also think, remember, we're just changing that 10's house. That's it. So what's 1 more than 8? Or we can say what's 10 more than 80 is 90. So one group of 10 is done, check mark. And what about over here? What's another group of 10 going to make? It's going to make 100. All right, so that group is done. And now we're going to count on by 1s to finish this off. Ready? So 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106. So the total number you should have gotten is 106, 106. That is how many pieces we have in all. Okay? Now that is our review pages all done. Now, for anyone that is not in my classroom that is watching this video, please make sure you let your teacher know that the video is done and ask him or her what they would like you to do next. Okay? For my friends in my classroom, I have a activity set up on our SAVVAS website, all set for you. Okay, my class, make sure that you're ready to follow along for the next step of instructions for your activity that I have set up for you. You're going to our Google Classroom, the man in the blue box right at the top, right? And click on classwork. And on this page, it will say Unit 7 Review. You will click here, and there will be a link. There are 7 questions, okay? And there's just one from each section that we've done over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. And as soon as you finish this, go ahead on Pink Cat Games and practice any skills that you like. Make sure that your math skills are all set for tomorrow. Or if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? I hope that this video helped, and please let me know if there's any questions. Okay, I will see you guys next time, alright? Have a great day.